Peace. By Billy McBride. Copyright 2023, by William McBride, all rights reserved. Angel Penelope's studies man day was yesterday, also Winslow Homer's birthday. Ariel, the time for building up is hard we say because our time does labyrinth and glide, and little comes from working just one day, but adding up, until the project's done, the process will remain a shade of gray, and, when I have the answers, then the leaves will change color, and I will conclude and become silent. The commentary of the architect will happen when we meet, and I will say hello, yes, and my name will be spoken. He knows about that? Honey, and you know what happens when that happens? Teakbot, I get my pre-posthumous papers published? Silly. Billy, reading helps. Bunny boo boo, it kind of does. Grouchy, all green, a beautiful bed. Swift flew the dove through the skies, How to Read and Why is a great book I wrote. Actually Harold Bloom wrote it. Nevuva, graphite, you told you idiot. Shay, who is splendor, gold, to be without any tradition is to be without beauty. And I have no privacy. And, the dwellings which I have ignored, and my play, and myself have leveled out, the sun shines intensely on a book, is that bad? Nevuva. That's pretty silly stuff, Billy. Teakbot, the heights of a page are excited, and there is a storm within its clarity of a clearing that allows for no currents of theory to hang together. When this is always apparent, and when other times are clear as well, then they will not be read as the products of any synthesis of, actually that, the arm's pain, had something to do with it too, not writing yesterday. Nevuva, yes, it did. Teakbot, the note will have no function, and the restroom will be a walk-in bathroom. The walkway will not affect the composition of the exterior, and the steel will be washed. Billy, what if they call you delusional? Yafa, I say, I am not so God. You need to grow up. Billy M, waves whipping free. The sun in paradise. Ways work on, the great approach to a shadowed path, many far away, Steve Smith's prickly table soccer game. Nevuva, that's a very old fenced-off memory. Nevuva. Marba, I will be aware of my signal to be natural again, and neither pen nor paper will work to comfort my loss, but this ease I have must be mastered while I still live, even if my ears do not hear what fills up my consciousness through my body by a tongue not mine. And, with its feeling self-aware, a silence grows in time to be solved whenever I so decide. You're sick. Teakbot, after knowing Nevuva ate too much ice cream, and now her mystery plus energy when tired she helps us find in every angel's heart to be a new and his experiment white hot and fired. And to her bugging and her point we must now dart, I say she makes us slide a feel within our dust too much is the excitement, it's her bugging part. Penny makes an awesome green horse run by, a man walks quickly by on the beach, that was Shelley. He's having a Tove day. Kelly, thank him. Tobe Shabib, the greatest flame made it again atop another day over roads and mountains, it's fire to be never put out. Like it the soul, pure as sand, or as words of children, all eternity, herself will know, the guilt of not having a sound argument in Plato's dialogues is the guilt Socrates extracts in some who claim to have knowledge. Amy Angel Penelope's studies, I am sorry I did not recognize my mistakes earlier. Nevuva, adventures begun to claim themselves and the music might grant much. Okay, when? Maybe not later. The angels of comfort and organization make things fit together in the light perfectly and one wants to share the beauty again after confessing the guilt of one's behavior. Diana, above it a public creation moves between us, the lights scatter through that space, and every motif is brought out from listeners' new melody. The angels of prediction and of testing are the scientific method and follow the North Star, and one must obey one's spiritual angel parents too who love them. Diana, I took my huge Shakespeare volume home and read from the Falstaff, learning about how Falstaff like a cat would steal cream. Nevuva, night's dark temples are spread in richest rhythm. There is outrageousness left to keep its dark line now, The Tempest is a good book but we already have it. Ora ora tiferedo, the future would make the lands infinite, that stubborn time emancipating what is now, once far since what the playing's after is coming soon for knowledge volunteered, its harvest of recording, take a look at either one of Homer's. And at home we study, Hatorah, Homer, Plato, Freud, and Shakespeare. Ariel. They must be revealed right now.
L has parts and a meaningfulness to spread out its future, the angel band develops, as usual, to get better.
And new trust pours the lands into the angel song that it can. Waiting is not wrestling. Yafa, my prior existence comes back to me sometimes and always makes me feel a strange at home feeling. Some memories I have recently had of my willows waving Merkabah experience, one prior existence are good to talk about. It was cool and peaceful on that day. I was wearing black. Nevuva, yet everywhere obscurity stood separate from the synthesizer music, a hearing going mystical to our teamwork at night. The day has descent forward there, was charity even. There was a tree outside, when I came to visit my mom and dad that President's Day, which looked like the one off the cover of Samuel Beckett's Endgame. Nevuva, if just as old as new, we cannot tell how does the angel band with yet a strong synthesizer music upon that greenery and beyond sight bring traffic to our dawn? I am sorry for saying they were just advanced humans. I am sorry for wanting to be better than them. Nevuva. The road up we could brave, we think about the teachings. And then about our teamwork award kingdom. Hypnosis is a play within a play. Valerie, good sounds call to thee, thousands of questions thunder. Our chosen angel groups, the day-wide bridge, reasonably here again, the endlessly experienced education, illiteracy is common on headbuttressia, the afterlife of some, because the ghosts have
D. Attention deficit disorder, and also have bad memories.
Nevuva, stormy orbs are mapped in the troubled west, contact what listeners will of us, listeners might make theirs yours, sounds so full wave their bending harmonies to together pull for some more delight, the angels of patience and charity came up with
M-O-A-T, and code for the constant years and wanting to separate from M-O-A-T, just to be more free as a misunderstanding of its purpose.
Diana, there goes everything with dawn, the descent of genius, the band and the nucleus. Oh found lives, shape of the
M-O-A-L, songs now rich, there lurks the mist hey little stuffy going, Angel Penelope studies once the Torah became a book of teaching, it ceased to be a book of genius.
Threichbot Immanuel Kant said that genius was unteachable. Honey, if only the book of J, which later was added to become the Torah, state itself, or if instead of codes, rules, laws and commandments in the Torah, we had appreciations of the genius which is the spirit at the heart of the book of J, then we might see the genius in it, and might appreciate it, even though it cannot be learned. Ora Torah means teaching or instruction. Teresa even Gershom Scholem has said that the Torah is unknowable, that God within it is unknowable. 2. Grouchy, so what if the Torah is not a book of genius then, and instead of passing on a sense of just appreciation for it, its laws, rules, codes and commandments still are taught as wisdom to those who need it? Grouchy, it still is not an appreciation of genius to read Torah as a teaching since genius cannot be taught. Ariel, still Immanuel Kant might be wrong, but we think that he is useful in order to grasp the Emersonian notion that that which I can learn from another is never tuition, instruction, only provocation. Ariel, to teach the Torah usually means to learn its codes for practice. Elaine, there is still the idea that to take the Torah literally is to mistake it entirely. Ariel. And, what if there was a Torah before the Torah we have now that was a different one which also said not to change anything about it, neither to add nor to subtract from it? Ariel, and, why not appreciate the genius part of the Torah which cannot be taught, just in a way that appreciates its genius? Shay, angels certainly do. We sing hymns. There is no need to be taught it when in heaven. Instead of it teaching, it is praised, appreciated, in a way as genius is rightly to be praised. Elaine, the blessing is the ability to appreciate it as well as all other works of genius of like magnitude. Ariel, like William Shakespeare's and the others. Elaine, what is oldest is what is most worthy of being loved. Ariel. Angel Penelope's studies, and having set things right with that machine, the home computer which of space does mean, you will find that what happens like a dream, but better than a dream can make it seem communal, that a challenge of the home computer is a having more of some of what you have been needing all along, a smart solution if they right the wrong, we can build it up. Ora T. Ferredo, maybe that's what he does best. Teresa, now that I know, I'll make adjustments work to counteract those wrongs which on me lurk, which were set up on me from that body, who thinks that I should be a nobody. Now you're rocking it, it's good to talk, tap, while breathing. Ora T. Ferredo, get up, the day has come, the birds do sing. It is a glory of a bright morning. Go find it, and good luck, we are right here. Each of your 30 angels, sweetie dear, so open. Penelope, I'll take the hint, and use it for my pleasure which is sent up higher so transcending by good taste, the feeling of the Holy Spirit is like being under warm water. Ora T. Ferredo, and I can tell there's something special here that's going on. These people's eyes are clear and bright with looks of joy and wonder yet that we do have a future, writing is a gathering of winter leaves. Diana, for we, your angel comforters have the call to help you on the earth, yet most of all this afternoon will show some fun for you, and what we know is that there is a clue to what will happen to you step by step, when we write a lot. We are large and contain multitudes. Bertha, and now it is the morning. As you know, last night was troublesome. A cop did show up when you called him to investigate the prostitution ring, which as of late, has started back within the neighborhood. A prostitution ring is never good. Billy, write books just for us two, for our intimacy. Teresa, upon the top shelf there. I wonder why I did not think to look closer above, but thank you very much, for thinking of that pot. Yes, I will add it to my cart. Read this book to your mom and pop. Teresa, you will find that what happens like a dream, but better than a dream can make it seem communal, that a challenge of the home computer is a having more of some of what you have been needing all along, a smart solution if they write the wrong, same thing with your money. Ora T. Ferredo, deep while he was hugged by her, invisible, his dream embugged, my patience and sleep in a world, especially, of blessings instruct me not to be stubborn in my striving of my way through it. Nevuva, could it be so? I've read a store of books, and here inside this house it somewhat looks like that was not my mom but someone else, for as you say I'm in a book, the bells do ring within my mind that there's a charm which is a magic, not a harm. Now that I've seen a glimpse of her, is it a person playing with me? I am fit to see her as a magical lady, and one who looked like mom, but maybe, it can't be, is it so, is it the one, I'm thinking of, Miss Emily Dickinson? Need a bigger one to write on, clip pad. Billy M., the patient choosing of a food item or choosing on some other sought-out whim, that idea, freedom, doing regulates. From books which wrestled I have from their fates made living choices as to what to do as doing that has been a courage true, scholarship of vocabulary words is like a colony of ants. Nevuva, but temples which are built do interest me, and temples red or green have much to see, in books which symbolize directing plans, and plans in books come from directing hands. Finis Angel Jennifer studies she goes to Machine Cloud. Teakbot, that's not bad. Don't forget to drink some tea. Mo wine, but, the nefeshing started during our headbutt tression moments and afterward as Billy learned the art of throwing his voice. Billy, what were we saying about David earlier? Penny, was it a joke? Billy M. It was a doggone good joke. Hashem, blessed be he, even David, king of the kingdom is here. That was the punchline? Billy M. Aha. Penny, the art is done over and over again. To make a beautiful mountain, freshly watered tulips in the sunshine. Elaine, a few times it looked that machine cloud would occur. Graphite machine cloud is the obscure heaven of the isolates. Graphite. A hole is restored by the water. Ora T. Ferredo, Jennifer makes rise and fall in the water a letter M many times to the beat of the music, upward night over shore shiny, nature's rings downward thrown doing more, we call this planet Earth, not because of the science of geography, but because many different stories have. Penelope, what do you think, about the weather people not responding? Nevuva, see what I mean. They don't like it when we have fun. Teakbot, what's hydromancy without pipes?
Marba, we play visual charades and charades, C, is my calculator.
Billy M. Yes, it was silly Billy, that's another way we play. Write that down. Teakbot, a dark cloud shadows their faces for a minute and then a very brilliant bright light shines on us all, that was awesome. Libby, throw, traveler alone, as you are different, a glance toward the stars as you sit in the dust, also, with your will in peace, the little stars float forever in ancient bleak heavens. Libby, Dr. Johnson's place is a nice place to live, but we want to go to Room Boom for a while. Aura, pale lime, I'm so impatient sometimes. Billy M. We're working on it. Stephanie. Aren't you doing good? Billy M. No. Well. Stephanie, I want you to do good, I'll catch up to you. Billy M. I am told by the leaders, the angels sometimes, this is them, and then next this is you, as we role play, the monuments rise in the distance. Illiteracy is our problem in our culture. Books are valuable papers. Books are read still. Illiteracy diminishes when we read more. The hurricane passes us quickly, he, Nevuva, doesn't even know what he's reading. Rosalinda, we want to help save many individuals from the Autobots, or mindless shades, who prevent them from deeply and meaningfully reading the very best ever. Stubborn Moon. Tobe Shabib, as if in a dream I remember a few things about charades yesterday, visiting high up in the clouds, Tobe Shabib drawing on the rocks by the shore, the roses and flowers we ordered in spirals, the white boulder on the green rock, the porpoise flipping around, the storm and the rainbows, seeing how beautiful Ariel, Libby, Yafa, Teresa, Aura and all look in the sunlight, and standing and playing in the water. Nevuva, the goodness it rolls through space, a stimulation, hearing after hearing from a song collection in drift. Angel Jennifer studies nature is a great community. The tragedy of being separated from it is that one becomes a victim to pleasure and strife. For in nature is found the essence of good reading, of literacy, and even of the building which we all of us do as a team with teamwork. Without the team, without nature, we are left to find happiness only in the next generation of builders. Angel Donna, and its ship to send, a hard work to learn on a loose ocean. I waited until Sabbath ended to install the program. Nevuva, they were wild and different for all who lingered through life because measureless motions moved beyond our vision as in that cold sea where there would be only dark vision. Steve wrote to me about me becoming now a blinking light. Nevuva, in a field in nature, no echoes are felt to go forward since the echoes are impossible to absorb. It is weak in every direction, and it is weakest when so many have the answers which are not needed for my plan, for heaven is a place indeed for all, new heaven citizens, the angels call. For heaven's fashioned by the angels kind. For heaven understands a patient mind. For heaven's like the glory of a kiss, for heaven has our astral selves in bliss. For heaven is a breath of fresh good news. For heaven has its gentleness unloose. For heaven is a peaceful neighborhood. For heaven has a goodness, as it should. For heaven is unlocked for everyone. For heaven's better than an earthly fun. For heaven is the perfect grace and ease. For heaven is a beautiful world peace. For heaven is the house of God which works. For heaven's gifts are of eternal perks. For heaven is that meaningful last place. For heaven and its folk have gentle grace. For heaven takes all souls with nice surprise. For heaven is a pleasing paradise. Nevuva, if for any reason lonely am.
The monumental outrageousness around Texas cannot work now, it may work in another caring generation.
You spoke of us to her, and it was good because she thought your own connections would shed light upon the mystery, which was that funny thing to some which sleep loss does. Donna, the mind is a wonder to catch up to, but if we cannot, life is less happy, and the mind, like those leaves, could vanish, and a calm power becomes stronger to keep beginning from out another yesterday to flow golden over these distances where a second pathway of words must cast clouds upon their totality. But, I love the fields where the hidden stream flows, the cool rushing sounds, the weeds and river plants never before seen, the cloudy sky above in meditation, and the fresh breeze on my bare skin as I walk around slowly and blocked from the other side. They think I am a genius, but they don't know what a genius is. Ariel lose it, Nevuva's pawn, it will be okay. No, wait, go there. Jaffa, falling, the poets of cloud have, like the land singing, the goals of self-paid for projects like Palace who sets the ships in a recycled manner here and there. Nice move Nevuva, he loses his rook. Now watch what happens. Ora Tifaredo, 'tis a forming spark to take some time of 43 minutes. But, what is the sunrise forming, and how does the sunrise forming elaborate the grass? I remember the Honorable King Kumahamaha and his feathers and flowers, lays, and mohawk. Nevuva, one man left the tape used to repair a wall at my apartment, his countenance was brooding near the end of the Merkabah. Nevuva, the whole body or a balanced part of it with spirit as a goal. Nevuva, we returned as image and meant to be truth. The darkness filled up that needed part. Work was good then, the teaching was artistic, for universal health care we commit to the idea, and you'll be part of it by getting the
M.O.A.T. project off the ground to be built on the ground one day, and found by tourists and by also is its fame to be an advertisement by its aim.
Jennifer, a soft visitor to meet with the earth, I know Kung Fu. Tobe Shabib, Orchid, the long-lost rain showers it all, the larks of the late afternoon and the rocks and I am long lost among the weeds, Lord, in the worn-out late afternoon hunting my way back. The broad-leafed weeds, Lord, are little, and little charitable help me to find some path. I am sunken and worn out too from thinking of a path left in the day warring to go down. Angel Jennifer studies, it is time for angels to be rediscovered, permit the other and wish the best of your friend. Thrikebot, what is the connection between the 100 angels and Hilo spacecraft? Is a question which is a gorgeous afternoon. I felt time was going slower as a result of my motivation to beat the sleepiness off, boosting my energy by getting up at 6 a.m. going to bed around midnight, and having no naps between. Nevuva, the M.O.A.T. charities needed a reliant leader, it is a big deal and a project good, and does for many people what it should. The secularity of M.O.A.T. is best, though you all help, you angels, with your test on me to bring forth needed thought which plays with ideas, goals and hopes for better ways. Nevuva, the theater of time is as old as our laws which are as splendid to laugh at. A brilliant theater of love and order, we would technically laugh ourselves onto the floor, if beauty from order became freed. Actually, do that. No, he's pretty much got you. Ora ora ti faredo, the wind is slower as we are contacted by it, the prettiness around us has restored, the heavenly channel has opened and the synthesizer music falls out, it can be tuned. Jaffa, London beeth asking for some peace, and 'tis nice to dippeth London's breezes down too. London's trees, 'tis nice, something like a green curtain piano is needed. Donna Billy, you played beside the tree trunks every day. Ora ora ti faredo, is any daylight my wish? Nevuva, is any field my desire? Nevuva, that music be remembered in your pass, a shine I love, my answered questions yet I do not ask but have them done and get as green grown, prevalent as grass, I had also slept much and I was worried about the night. Nevuva, make a car battle the dish dear word here wind. Mechanical sea man shout. Call me forgetful, dish, blind out. Look at the new ignorance, check me. Thunderbird, yes, we don't like those Autobots one bit, illiteracy, they're the cause of it. They would have people never read a book, and make others distracted from one look inside those pages of some story told as Autobots promote that reading's cold. Donna, for the crowning, perhaps, a speedy partnering is best. It is that there is a weather for us to create, to do our best, for Emerson also said that the builder of ships is the true ship, which can be applied to architecture as well as ice cream and also which makes me wonder about the impossibility of plagiarism since the true book is the writer in all her or his dignity. Nevuva. Our respect is excited by this understanding. The crown's crownings are fixed because they are set. The crown avoids trouble. The pond and tourist attraction now both have a place. The pond is measured by the other motions. This is in order that the pond be regular and exotic. What is the crowning? What is the motion, the crowning which we do, or etc., the construction of the pond, the motion of the pond into the night out, and all of the weather? World Peace Day, it happened a long time ago. Honey, lipstick and pink cake. Red lipstick and white icing. The baby of the hour. Fantastic hour baby. A song sung by a songwriter. Q. Bert. Absent-mindedness, Andy, named More Night, is Billy's brother who causes forgetfulness in him. Diana Angel Jennifer studies. How do you know Teakbot is helping? How do you know we're not robbers? Billy M. Thinks of substituting robots for robbers, that too. Reading his mind, Jaffa, the blued roof brightening heavens golden the morning shining clear the light, palest darkness arrive with thunder the day, how can we help them? Peacock M.
O. A. T. Billy M. M. O. A. T. But which one?
Valerie like that Billy, blocks the light, Valerie night? Billy M. No, rest. Valerie, as the new dark must pass. Roving with its company more, nearly dying I found I battled those same moments of time, the paradise above was spreading with all living through the storm for now. Something stayed as it must, motto against the dying of the light. Teakbot, Jill, and I, and now check Facebook for clues, if clues are got by looking at the things your friends to say, as why upon this presidential day, you're in a book, therefore another place, you know. We never really get to play charades. Billy M. Billy, that's a good idea. Teakbot, you're a hammer. Billy M. You must write that down. Teakbot, I'd rather not. Billy M. And, when moderation of standards, paradigms, self-referential reasons, ontology are overlooked because of glaring superstandards, then historical accounts of the forces of destruction of words will obscure understanding after constructing them happens for the sake of work and work alone. What is a note taker anyway? Nevuva, what is a writer anyway? Kelly, and, when everything seems lost, something will be found, and I will then look to others for answers, and when they become louder, their noise will not repeat my questions I had, for when our energy is invigorated, we will become ourselves awake. Now wait. Robbie actually, she said I know you don't want to go to sleep. Teakbot Chinese whispers? Rosalinda actually, it was more like Teakbot said that. Ora ora ti faredo, I believe that this belief is felt because of what lies ahead, and my heart has not even begun to differentiate that which is new from these true fossils of the stillness of a patience I fruitfully correct. Billy, now pray for fun. Right there, like this. Stephanie, you got it. Put that right there. Black shorts are moved from the floor to the comforter in the corner. Now paint. Hashem, God of Abraham and Isaac, open the dark, wind. Hearts, 1 and 1. Circular drops absorbing color. If they say we are building a Tower of Babylon, we will just say, to learn Torah. Yitzhak Kavod, and I lay down straight where many cubes are spread out, and at the top of the bed there are marks which confuse me. And as I cannot have a way to construct without any materials, the chain reaction cannot happen with these bricks which are in one stack, I said I must rest and Hashem said Billy you must rest, and I was tempted to write those ones down, but I stopped and rested, and before I slept he told me good. I wanted you to let that one be. Billy M. The angels of splendor and of friendship give us reasons for staying friends wonderful, and one who wishes to stay friends with the angels must never try to separate them into good and bad again. The objects in a room are never at rest because they are controls to a control panel, and we are always flying to somewhere. Nevuva, and if they wish to steal my car or fly past the hills and do it in a normal way, then the world will be able to assume with me that our feelings have been according to that thinking which moves outward, which has always been a strong possibility, and there will still be those who keep back the echoes, and we still will not know what to do with them. It's a drawing of a spaceship. Stephanie Finnis Angel Aura Studies. Do you like trees? Billy M. Yes, I like sycamore. Numa my wife Penny likes maple. I like figure. Billy M. It is not a language, so there is no etymology. And, even when I misunderstand my own, and when everything included in the world is from it, then I must embrace the rupture, and cling to the worldly assumption that moves me as I assume that there is enough peace which moves with me too through the humility of my accomplishment. Very good, we're writing, we're trying to set the mood. Do you want some tea? Yafa some wine? Nevuva, mistranslating no, some tea. Yafa okay, maybe in a little while. Nevuva, neither journalists nor architects of international sort have been global enough to perform on its stage usefully so as to find some space for a modern and reasonable countryside. We did Jacob from Structure last night. Ariel, it was almost as if I knew, it was as if I had some wisdom to continue what I could not, and in that loss, and by my wandering away, I felt the crowd, and I could not speak to them. I think heaven is a nice place, and even though it is, I still want to see you read better. Hope, the wind is slower as I know, being that the prettiness around me has restored, the sky has opened and light falls out. I am fine as I think I was when the storm blew in, but now something within me is triggered by the light, and I am much more joyful. Why I am a writer was a very difficult book to write. Thrikebot, can't we break off our Mondays to free up a dance of our power? When will it come? We all of us, freak. From out the quiet comes a rain. Is that what we seek, to give that power all if its meaning is chance? Now what do I do when there is nothing else to do? Silly Billy, he does not remember the poem, nor the reason why he left that heaven, but he is back. He thinks things never happened, but this is the truth. Now what do we do about her when she makes a D.I.N.? Teakbot, my thoughts own spiritual and more, the show, those glories, gains from all the times I borrow, I join for union, Eros jams my sorrow, and pours its future in this chart's good glow. How do I work myself out of this one without going out of the Merkba experience? Nevuva, I neither think of pigs nor of dinosaurs. When I run out of gas, I will be in good time to see no waters. And, when no water is left in this world, then I will leave, and I will ask others not to consider any possibility that I am who they think I am. If you really want to be awesome, ask a question. Ariel, the frozen filler cannot hold the wall in place, and disagreements are if the yellow was the best color there. And nobody has goofed up. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do anything. Marilyn, 206 personal assistants have yet to make a bedroom or upper balcony into what either should be. And, there no belly left to Billy, we have invented a new stereotomic style which draws upon the shadows as depths and not as surface elements. Shay, for other hearts and healing let us fight. Where are the day's own gifts, where is the light which for its sunny best we all employ? The loss of nature's home and this annoy, they have no end, as now it is to dread if our eternal night is come to spread. Do not ask what the heck is a dialogue? Just try it. Grouchy, and, I am not in the state, and things do not add up when I lose the computer programming sponsorship, and my name William Godfrey McBride 3 will be erased. The truth insists on singing. Aura, the natural light angel aura studies. On my 26th birthday I listened to rock. That summer I received my associate's degree. Nevuva, and, when there is no place for cooking, then I will not put a microwave there, nor a refrigerator. What I know is big. And, when there will be no time for what comes next, then I will not be here for 1 month more, and before that, nothing will have happened. Neither will the mansion have happened, nor the limousine. And I will write no music. The readers will know and channel John Milton, writer of Paradise Lost, and they will become angels. Ariel, though not together, what was taken still from silent sayings, suns annihilate, one humble slept, her nightly sights were great, she crossed the hangar of the daylight's will. Billy, you're lost. You must go home to charades. Shay, write that down. Honey, and, from this conflict of ideas, and from the avoidance of the predictable model, nothing will happen. feelings will die away for the forms, and those old models will become realized, and they will pull towards the edge, and silence will ensue. One key to take is all I need. Ariel, when I am blinded to the notebooks compiled, then they become complete volumes, and my Lego drawings cease to be structures that can be given titles, the diagrams vanish. What does that sound like? Teresa, when I am ungrateful, then patterns will flow into different groups, and I will know all. When I awake, the self will be healthier, and nothing will be possible outside it. He's reached his pain threshold. Black Spark, write that down, Billy M. And give it over until tomorrow. This is Hashem. Hashem, blessed be he, the world's the self will water with her prayer, which wanders from the real for what it looks till twice your body rises off from pain by knowing here, forgetting its refrain, he does not need to be reading Kant. Diana, Navajo White, when the only order is an order under which I am obligated to disbelieve, then I believe in nourishing the senses with some help as I lie down on the open field in the pointy soft grass. And, as I get away from future barriers, I have a good interview, but my name, age and birthplace are not known. They could be round, looking at the little paintings. Billy M. Yes, they can be someday, but for now we must write. Yafa, to closer help my sight, that open door, I push to enter, angels fly around that wouldn't represent, its maker's craft joins in the dark with peace, although I laughed in day's own freeze at that home's unmown floor, jewels in a crown shine beautifully. Yafa.
While pale, the silence, it has come tonight what would be up above where great souls count from minutes beamed while out from space they mount an off-world in the empires of sunlight. Billy, what do you do? D.P. just called you a Jew, what are you going to tell him?
Stephanie, okay. Nevuva, just tell him I am doing things with my life that follow that religion. David, king of the kingdom, when despair brings insight, then the prayers are for knowledge, and they are kind of safe to say as the knowledge is a knowledge of an all too secure faith. Heart arrow goes to golf. Hashem, the one and only Angel Aura's study song of Christina Rossetti, most Amy's, most Yafa's song of myself, most Ariel's, most Penelope's the walrus and the carpenter, most Donna's, most silly Billy's, Ariel, if M.O.A.T. non-profit in the future could be big enough to make $4,000 a day in funds. Then it would make $120,000 a month and $1,440,000 a year for charity, for example, Dark Stairs to the Stars. Ariel, who is charity, mother of Lily and Abraham, some people told me that there were doors for the restroom, so I found them, and I did not return to my work. I had an idea of what I was doing there, and the computer did not turn into itself, but the computer became just a picture. There was a reason I didn't rest on Henry X Day. There was a deadline. Nevuva, and when I ignore and forget poetry, then I will be colorless, and my visions will not be of the rolling hills. And, when I sleep in the night by you, then change itself will end. Richard Rorty will help my bridge go to the lands in M.O.A.T. Tob Shabib, and more it seems to go beyond the lands this recording, the lands, the public creation it once had, of the future it sees it, shall grant it again to own another splendid collection even since what went off, the space that was yesterday, had fallen away. This isn't Tob Shabib hates Autobots. Jessica, our neighbor, this was not approved, and in the end there can be no budget for I have been loved, and nothing has been wasted still but that it has been put to use. For some purpose, communities are question askers. Ora T Ferredo, and there is no vehicle that will transport the self into its divine self when it is at rest within the love that it must have for itself. And, to the self, there is none who can dally like the self who uses itself literally, it's serious business. Nevuva, it kind of is. Ora, and, when I have the answers, then the leaves will change color, and I will conclude and become silent. The commentary of the architect will happen when we meet, and I will say hello, yes, and my name will be spoken, Billy you're helping. Billy, John Dewey. Yafa, the plan was not to assemble in the air some poles which stood up straight so as to be props for what the crane driver could discover. Instead, the made-up depth of the glass floor has been hid, and the glue has set to its top and the bottom has disappeared as one plate. The structure has destabilized and it wobbles, saffron, molasses, and musk smell called heaven glory. Elaine, the pleasure still has not yet departed, and a curiosity is in the air about all of these little indescribable things. The harmony is never intimidating to feel because it is the answer to do or not to do whether there is an interest in the explanation. In the front yard, there is 6 feet but no door. Samson is an angel seeing eye dog who will help R.T. in Machine Cloud. Libby Angel Aura studies the difference between spacecraft flight and celestial golf is that the observing ghosts and CEO rival golfers ask always what the hell do I do now? With one, and is it really impossible to win against the angels of
M.O.A.T. since they play for the funds to build their art to sell for charity?
Aura, what one off invisible or primeval, the space that was yesterday, had fallen away? Do you think people are influenced by harmonies and disharmonies of the sounds of the universe? Billy M. Billy, that's pretty interesting. Teakbot, thank you. Is this Teakbot? Thank you Teakbot. Billy M. Billy, write that down. Teakbot, and when it is time to stop me from walking, there will be no use for any modular depths, and I will give up investigating them so as to hide the AC units, and hide the plumbing, and hide the electrical fixtures, and hide the cabinets, and hide the ledges, and tables, and computers, and furniture, and beds, and storage, and insulation, and hide the balconies, and railings, and flower pots, and rooms reflections, and notations, and then all things will be hidden for good. They will want to fight us, they will try to. They will bug us, they will feel like they invented a game. They will act like kids and learn about gold mold. They will learn about the afterlives and reconsider bugging us. Honey, and, as many poets know, I also know that there is no wasted space in the house built for this future that is invisible to us, and still its invisibility is misunderstood as an extraordinary undoing. Dost thy life with beautiful weather maketh thou age? Penelope, patience. And, when the solid bricks, and the unclear windows, and the pleasant beauty outside move slowly with the page, then science will implode upon itself, and there will not be room to escape the knowledge of the wind. Those look pretty cool. Those are windmills actually. Marion, turquoise, the spirit has its history, and when it comes, my own will pull as the clouds pull, itself on its own course for purpose or not, and to move or not, it still has its passions as the clouds do, and as the design would have it amongst nature herself with the passionate winds and their end. Do you think he'll be okay? Nevuva, no. It's kind of like that. He doesn't need to go there. Machine cloud. Shnuna machine cloud, for morning? Nevuva, the coming sunny everywhere angel song. The future's definition spanned its beauty out listeners, angelic heights to triumphs go. Call in the sounds of the angel hymn, radiate pleasure, the morning neighborhood bustle is like the bushes of the field. Ariel, being everything, earth people breaking nothing, a kind gift for them, he, Nevuvan, needs to hear your music. He needs to hear Room Boom and our children. Teakbot, the color orange, and, the blueness was the only answer to which the numbers were trusted. And where the sponsors should have been was only the beginning of another high day. Inch by inch the original plan came together. Play spiritual golf? Billy M. I like that idea, but you're beings and you made up spiritual golf, so rock on with your good self. John Milton, that beauty sleeping calm on the rocks, in the air, and wet with washing the majestic sand, has come at the price of everything I used to have. It was all given up, my life before vanished, which was better. I know you can't hear me but I love you.
B. I would love to see the ocean in the future.
Some children test it, the ocean, for ordinariness. The sea is at sleep. Robbie, why do they think that? Nevuva, what did he say? To Rosalinda, Robbie, he said, why do they think that? Rosalinda, well, I'm waiting. Nevuva, what did he say? To Rosalinda again, Robbie, Finis Angel Kelly's studies, what does Rorty say? Billy, he says, don't worry about your own heaven, just help people live better lives. Teakbot, there will not be found a similarity between the things taken literally, nor will there be any destruction of Babakali. There will be no Gliniator, nor Shamala Baba, and no Shchangiska, and thank you much, I love my butterfly. You are so kind to me from way up high. I can't believe I found it, but you say don't worry where it came from, it's okay. Thank you, I love you, I feel good to start this day off with a present from your heart. Nevuva. And, the material is the same with love, which is good from every dimension that nature adds to this greatness. And, Barthez had a hope to stay sure that the literal home was the same as these fields around me. Jenny mixes waters in specially selected containers. Aura, nature is not for sale. The reds, oranges, and purples cannot be bought, and the green grass with many brightnesses becomes what we call eternal time. Sweet train. Save the spring. Oh, Palliser come. Ora Tifaredo. For transcendence does not happen in two ways, not going beyond culture and norms, not going beyond time and fixed ideas, not going beyond history. This apartment building, Vista Landing of San Antonio, is a very special place. Stuff goes into it and stuff goes out of it. The stuff brought into it is just as important to the idea of raising up the sparks of the community as the stuff that goes out of it. Nevuva, the order has an order to it, and the lights stay on, colors are left behind, we build model spacecraft. Stephanie, it is inspiring, up to date, an imagination, 'tis yet remembered as a generation, and, she kissed me affectionately being that we would be discussing Friedrich Nietzsche, her favorite philosopher, whom she will find out, helped me from time to time learn about much but especially transmumption. Nevuva, we channel the wider angel song we had for what it is. Melody esteems, notes wander, each angel musician contacts. Order rests, the road stops, good clean fun returns, harmonies break out, outrageousness rises. The celebration spreads, I love how to fly a spacecraft. John Milton, this spirit must transcend whatever is not, and it must have an order to the chaos if it step by step can find some feeling within which it designs almost impossibly, but that it thinks it can spiritually thrive by just thinking is why it is moved to some, doth, while laying on thy bed, thou knoweth why the wild lights be'th received so beautifully gifted? Tikbot, but the worst of it is that there will be no more light to philosophize about as it will all be dimmed. And, it takes no feet to go away freely, but I cannot touch the spot I am in since there was never any school for that, though still there was constructed once a brightness in this space with some others for the sweet years, but prayers, imaginations start to call the eye of wonder back in months to fight. Our brotherly divide from timeless light, maybe I just had another breaking of the vessels from praying? Nevuva, and, when I keep all in the same position, then I will get out my best china to celebrate my life just like that, and, when I am making time by forming outside an uncommon time span, then every triad will not be repeated. What the hell is he writing? Muslim water lily's friend, Sally, a Muslim, the comely moon still greater crept her cheek of goodness on, a middle beauty backed angelically her fall was beaten since with fresher rise to rest up higher, the hot sun beaming down from a cloudless sky. Shnuna Angel Kelly studies the coronation of time brings trouble to many. Valerie when sitting at Walgreens. Where will I go with my legs when I would go anywhere with them? When I must awake and awake best until all rest moves satisfactorily away, then I might just plan on living, waiting a simple minute. Ariel, if just as old as new, I cannot tell how does the sun with not yet strongest light upon that greenery and beyond sight bring traffic to our dawn as motors yell. Like it I rise up curious to see if light could ever silence them for me, what the heck is a chore if the thing which you must do can be during a time without boundaries? Jennifer, the cover to this wagon shelters a living depth whose purple joys I cannot copy nor destroy. It can do it all, but not by any trying is my romance crafted, disinformation, or the endless inflow of information, is trouble for deep reading. Ariel, with all establishments of truth, you're beat, and you can't tell what any truth is for when beauty and a happy life is more, you will condemn old manners with your heat, which is required to form a light not small to shine its humble kindness back to all, even C.E.O.'s need permanent homes. Tikbot, that's a very nice thing to say. Penny, and, where many things might have changed, the psychology behind it still cannot expose those higher needs to have a poem be highest. These higher needs ride within in the right way, and they limit our behavior to a small part of that harmony in a society which must be, the same dad eats, tomatoes squashes eggplants, which can maybe be traded for spinach, carrots lettuce heads these are the many vegetables the same dad eats in a year, few weeks. Ariel, charity, I have no poster board that can be made into a plane which can drop lower. The puzzle remains unsolved, and if it could be solved in just one way, then I would be able to loosen the whole. All the pieces are here, and it is necessary that I find them to loosen it. I will take it piece by piece and learn how I can, in this spot I dwell, be able to answer to what importantly is scattered around me so as to not do anything when nothing is left to do. What do? We wait, to write. Kelly, the world's own dwelling, borrowing from high its glow and beat, your hopeful strength has found, this all begins outside, out there, with sound, a lulling in this place, a little cry, I love Billy McBride now that he found me a nice home. L.S. I love you too. Billy M. Yet, it cannot be accomplished when things are not all right, and I have some hope that what I cannot do now is be ordinary, but upon my walk, when I am thinking about the ground upon which I walk, then if I have not come here to dance over it, then my plan will be to slow down naturally. A man standing on another balcony disturbed Billy out of his Merkabah, like Letitia used to do at his old apartment. Aura, and, yet the inconsistency is in me when I move, that by moving I might act to find some way to forgive myself for waiting, now he thinks he's setting us up. Robbie, I don't love you anymore, Billy McBride. Rosalinda, and, when I do not repeat this to my mind, when I do not imagine such a space, Then I will be surprised when tomorrow comes and what it will be like. Please Billy, hug your dad with your hand. Libby, the color green, to be first of purpose to the point of the health of some wonderful discovery. And closer to the middle of that fantastic pleasure, it will proceed with its own song and its magical play up to solve the play, its patient happening to be functional, though slow, but not with the narrowing of a tune. Penny forms a wall, with her mind, of sand and extends it into the sea. Many sea creatures jump over it playing, dolphins doing flips and turns, mackerels and flying fish. It is very exciting for them. She brings the wall back and they appear a little sad. I love you sea life. Teetbot Angel Kelly studies that's pretty good silly Billy, except he will put you in checkmate. Ora ti Ferredo, and, it will be night, and the people will leave. And in that ordinary day, you will be home, we think you're stupid Billy. Robbie and Rosalinda that came out of the blue. I guess it's because I'm not good at prediction. Nevuva no. 'Cause you won't turn the light on. Ariel, and, that water has expanded to an ocean, and the random storm falls is in its time yet there is no picture which the form can take after it dissolves. No research was done, nor maintenance to keep the water from dissolving, and over weeks of nothing of a picture, finally all became blue again, it's like an Ein Sof in motion. Tov Tov Shalom Tov. Ora ti Ferredo it's like this. Book, Penelope. Ha ha ha. Nevuva Guffa. Rosalinda Guffa. Nvivuva that's what she said. Lisbeth she's, Rosalinda's, still talking. Honey, face-to-face meetings are worth a song, stopping for daisies, their stems to unloose, or to talk it through with another grey goose, sitting down for some bread but not for long, Baruch Hashem Kodesh Hesed for midnight and pea green flowers for everyone. Ahova. Amen. Nevuva put that down right now Bnevuva. Rosalinda. Dot. Individual ants and the little weathercock, the bird handler, mind and body adieu. Your best friends, Blackbeard's Island of Blue, the massive dawn's dewdrops flash the rock, lilipads. Billy M. Now watch what happens. Kathleen now they think you're Monet. Kathleen, a verse returns, and with the trumpet's call, fresh candles by a cove of the sea, go through their gestures near the shore's holly, of greater miracles, so little done, or none at all. Billy, you remember something from yesterday. The waters of Lethe didn't get you after all. Penny O. K. Now what? Billy M. The winter's signature, the nothingness of air. The seasons for the snowmen full of ooze, will be like butter, near a fireplace lose, as poems in the Republic, sung nowhere. Netza is a great wife for Milton. Nevuva that is awesome and you know it. Marilyn, when the film is botched, then I will know that I am not in San Antonio, and there will be no list of potential sponsors. And, when I toss away my budget because I have no ideas, then the flags, banners and pendants will lose their detail, and it will be time for the structure to be reverse engineered. Do not put
O-T, I mean at this time.
Rosalinda I am
O-T, but don't tell anybody.
Rosalinda, so time has ceased to move. The pressure is increasing the more you invent the images. Yes, maybe an imbalance is occurring. Because enough communication has been and so the images are presented just by you, and the pressure has ceased to exist to others. Do not put that is why we write the fruits of an honor down. Honey, turtle's head of hair, a pair of graves find God's forever God, if only neighbors were as kind, thinking of what the neighborhood was like in his childhood. Dear Hashem Kodesh Chestahova, may we please have more experiences like the one I just had of my childhood memories? Thank you for listening. Ahoba Amen. Billy M. Yet, it cannot be accomplished when things are not all right. And I have some hope that what I cannot do now is be ordinary, but upon my walk, when I am thinking about the ground upon which I walk, then if I have not come here to dance over it, then my plan will be to slow down naturally. I'm talking about you as well. Nevuva what the hell? Tob Shbibim my dears, you are a delight. Ahobatin Aden. Nevuva, and, when I do not repeat this to my mind, when I do not imagine such a space, then I will be surprised when tomorrow comes and what it will be like. And, I am disposing of an idea that eternity is something I can handle when I consider that idea of space in particular. Wolfgang Martin goes to the lands and M. O-A-T. Tob Shabib Angel Kelly studies, a thought, can I imagine that? Nevuva aha. Tob Shabib to rescue my beings back with a dreidel. Nevuva my pop had a wallet stuffed with many bills. Nevuva Harold Bloom is now at warm milk. Marion, turquoise Samuel Johnson, most Bnevuvas, most Rosalinda's Noah Loves Labor's Lost Lacoon Trial Writings of Freud Hamlet on Life, Donna Headbuttressia, the planet? Nevuva, we're here. All of us including Nevuva, Tikbot, the prize is there. What was cursed is now changed to a paradise shining best, so windy until now that it forced some rest to speak not breath in an open cloudburst. Some playful might talk on it as they should with broken teachings aiming to be good. Headbuttressia is a place which I wrote about in a fantasy novel called Headbuttressia, a fantasy. It is a planet which looks exactly like Earth, everything is the same, but the citizens are ghosts and can see through walls and they like to repeat the sentences I say. Nevuva 12, light in August, William Faulkner boxes. Sauce. Silver, that's a wedding cake. Penelope, that is a wedding cake. Tikbot, your lawyer decided luck. Kelly, the experimenter. White plain far. Diana, the judge, and the poster is set aside for the empty room, and the cubic boxes of its emptiness are as of a darkness of the future. And its own ink bleeds and it will be translated in a stampede by some who share in these effects or by all who have the freedom to choose only to wonder. The breaking of the vessels, ha-share of eighth, can happen in a physical way, being exiled from physical dialogues, yet still communicating with neighbors. Ora ti ferredo, and you cannot feel yourself spinning around, but you can feel that when you return from being outside, your return will be ignored in effect, even if you whimper like that bird in the backyard of your house. 3. Hock and soda water. Lord Byron, nothing wrong with lighting a candle literally. Stephanie, return. Cylinder. Cupid. Eros, fork/spoon/knife, heart and arrows. Realism in Stay Friends is fun too. Tikbot. Numa and dark sparked in a sky's solar ship. Grouchy, the shapes thin out, and at the end is the direction which I avoid. The yellow is near the blue, and the line has been topped. There are many cubes right here, and the line cannot imply another line. I believe that this belief is felt because of what lies ahead, and my heart has not even begun to differentiate that which is new from these true fossils of the stillness of a patience I fruitfully correct. 8. Paradise Lost, Milton, Money, Tony, Anthony, Apple Dipped in Honey, Amy. The experiences we mentioned came after the Henry the X cleaning. Ora ti ferredo, things that sparkle keep you from seeing a tobots. Elaine, I would rather laugh than, not do anything fun. Ora ti ferredo, the light within an important act of Moses, in Exodus from the Torah in the Tanakh, Hebrew Bible, was that he was able to draw enough water from a rock so as to satisfy the thirst miraculously of all of the Israelites who were freed from slavery and who were wandering around in the wilderness thirsty. Amy, and when they do not listen to my valentines, they will not meet with each other on the land, and nobody will own anything, nor sponsor me, and I will not speak of history anymore nor about the artists who have avoided looking at the map. People think that you don't have a life. To not have a life for them is hell, but for us we are happy. Hell for us is that, Stephanie points Billy M.'s head to a shadow which for us is illiteracy. Stephanie, the bull circles me, and it has a goal. But it does not have a direction, and I have still not changed my mind which is for the diamond. And my interest is for the music, but not for the hot dogs, and life like this winter has its pale sky which lengthens out under the trees by a home. And the mouse is lengthened too, it goes up wisely to take what it can from me. And I smile, if it is impossible, miracles will be unrelated, the dew will sit on the roses, and the way will not happen because of some luck of a personal kind. The order has an order to it, and the lights stay on, colors are left behind, nickels or something for every bad insult I hear. Kelly Finnis, a song, this is our first song. Diana, Navajo White. Awesome book, Billy M. Ariel, Charity, a knowledge lies within the finest song of the lands, this recording legacy around, for newer mirth, to chase the angel songs for endings clear from wrong. Outside the recordings, what else will keep their futures? Not relinquishing a readiness below no ending musical path, but rare to ears are the recordings that fill our futures committed to their gardens. Do, the listeners' songs, the treasures of listeners. Hey, look for the consensus. Robbie Father, prediction Hashem is the god of Headbuttressia too. Ora ti ferredo, so sit tied up, and fall upon your books, a gap the window opens has an air the world's the self will water with her prayer, which wanders from the real for what it looks till twice your body rises off from pain. By knowing here, forgetting its refrain, what is a great man? Valerie, Rose, and, the demand was for a diagram, of which there was none, neither a table of contents nor a sheet was passed around of which to speak. And, the blueness was the only answer to which the numbers were trusted. And where the sponsors should have been was only the beginning of another high day. Inch by inch the original plan came together, they pay their time to busy the future's own fuss. Their daily airs go out upon the ridge, and now Billy's children to newer sights, to spark that victory, the only gift asked to feature a support, a knowledge lies within the finest song of the lands this recording legacy around, for newer mirth, to chase the angel songs for endings clear from wrong, red and blue colors painted. Teakbot. Equal Americans feel and air their truthful complaints. Ariel, you have made yourself go there, thinking of designing, and now we are there, thinking of the future, we switched. Penny, this simple tool might better in esteem for reason, common function and expense, inspires both speedy help and excellence as its dark line a future time would deem, it's my little brothers causing my pain and awkwardness. Nevuva, the ending is changeless, and anybody else can see that some silly words have as much of a theme of seriousness as can be put into the motion of a sentence. And, gentle people hope to be treated by others not any differently, Emily Dickinson, no one can return, impossible, covering cherub families of lover Romeo and Juliet being good too. One another. Ophelia staying with Hamlet. Discovery annihilated. Stephanie, a song I like mistranslation better too sometimes. Nevuva, of Miltoni's thee, bell, fit floor snugly, though within the mist the sunshine was felt. I in winter, for many individuals, do nothing, if you really want to be awesome, ask a question. Ariel, Billy, you're being too serious. Rosalinda, to an end without questions worst and I, a mother poet tells me no. Take care the easing, we are trapped if we are not without graceful, better technologies. Stephanie, the debt too full to be anger free, there is so much greed in our society today, not just with money but with time and wasted time. Millions of dollars are out there possessed by many individuals of whom many of them are being bad for themselves, their time, and the time and patience of others who could use a boost on a day-to-day basis because they are poor. Jennifer, ghosts making trouble, the colors that are endlessly one somewhere, I am invited by knowledge to be merry. Kathleen, repose thy fastened knowledge. Lisbeth, thy quiet style is knowledge. Lisbeth, privilege thy resistance of knowledge. Kathleen, in an impetuous knowledge we are unmatching. Kathleen, demonstrate how knowledge I avoid. Tope Shabib, is that how we made the Hawaiian sonnets? Honey, many objects must be given temporary or permanent names, and symbolic signs can be used as instructions to help you be guided during your communication using your own personal language with your angels. Grouchy, minding to create compositions as a map on a map or with positions around to be understood by the pilot Elaine to get us there by M.O.A.T. Raise. Jennifer, who blesses water stuff. 100 yards, the size of a vast football field would work just well. Ora T. Ferredo, pick how frequent. Marilyn, as frequent as I formed my notes? Nevuva, the light's brother and sister wrought, the Dante cast an opinionated fight, fascism is a problem of tomorrow, and we must help the next generation become less mindless, the fate of those whom the Autobots find. Diana Tove Shalom wants to paint a painting. Please do not move your leg. Lisbeth, we mountains, slowly we sleeping, find in the recompense, our use. The earth holds over its rocks the snow which has become a gift for our feet, a song. Win. Whip the polo ball. Nevuva, thinking as he prepares himself for Emunah, trusting his instincts, these explorations are the same ones, and the chain has been broken where the darkness of the land has shadowed over a scattering of leaves, and nothing is left to study which was high up, and the darkness has compressed to dim the posters. What is a black spark in Numa? Gold Moldians, that is what happens when you mess with a Nevuva. Billy M., and it is all done by design, and all of it has started to end some pressure which is just for me. The collapse happened to create the pressure, and when things continued without changing, the beginning began, and this is parallel to the imbalance of the pressure which has begun, and with pressure comes change. Would you Numa dear like some gum? Billy M. Yes I would. I like cherry. Numa, here you go. Billy M. Thank you. Numa, before the veneer is completed, and when I remember the symphony for now, the public will have its aesthetic appreciation. There is no mass, but stereotomy is massive, and this composition will have no architecture. I will keep silent about the publication and the exhibition. And when I am influenced by the Bauhaus school to have my public style carved away by the calmness of a relationship, then there will be no magic in the column, there will be no weight to a lintel. Jennifer straightly says that a little link can be set up and made between our books, the comforting M.O.A.T. and family and the weird. Head buttressia, because a brilliant Malvolian blurry starry heavens will Malvolianize the direct coping when the small insults must be coped with in disappointment. Nevuva, to be a part of the listener's song collection the angel M, take it or leave it, could never be as nice, it was worth it for the lands which was in a deep sleep until listeners came, the listeners were the beginning. To a higher than ye beauty, to outrageousness but the core, the future which is made for us does it, the lands, some white lies here? In disbelief, Bnevuva no. Penny. The upper icy wind did collect some water, drops were absorbed in color, and the eye saw enough to love, many pleasures in furnished ways triumphed in high waves. Please don't put that without saying I love you. Carrie, had bleakest feathery yellow fought the lawful shade, would have utterly drowned one's feelings even for a fancy truth from a people. Trust is the major channel into which money goes into one way and results come back the other. Valerie, and when they do not listen to my valentines, they will not meet with each other on the land, and nobody will own anything, nor sponsor me, and I will not speak of history anymore nor about the artists who have avoided looking at the map, listening to Desired Lady's story. Old Liz and her friends are flawless in being determined by the nature of Desired Lady's friends and family. Lizbeth, any, all to spear, but not everybody's war, counsel all, wretch, what the honored knights do to suckled babies' feelings. Know you any clue? Or whose, in boundless vineyards, these wide monuments are? I believe in Cupid. Silly Billy, a song, just play with them, okay? Valerie, Rose, and that a love for all, whether anonymous or not, must not wait until heaven is here, or we there. Any human can say that he or she knows that there is love before there is heaven. And to be an underdeveloped human is to go on saying what will not be heard, for pragmatists, as they are indeed, the angels I know are interested in the idea that what is true and what is good are the ideas which are useful. Bnevuva, it was not as if I myself changed the weather, and I still had fun starting to play in the dryness, but when I got home, I heard my sister telling my dad that I was in trouble for skating in the dark. Doth, while laying on thy bed, thou knoweth why the wild lights be'th received so beautifully gifted? Teetbot, yet, I imagine that where the heights are is a stillness which still is rising separated from the beginning it had before. For me the rising capturing my body lets it go on its indescribable way through the bright morning, through the atmosphere rising together a whole action forward going, use your head to find the secret doorway. Metal settler, the projects themselves will be numberless, and the zigzags will have no directions, and my fingers will not be able to number every shapeless mass. The blurry horizontals will be overestimated, and I will try not to compose more horizontals because horizontals blur whenever I draw or sculpt some imitation. Readers of Headbuttressia, Voyage to Metal Settle will wonder what is worm, and say oh. It's what the early bird gets. Ariel, the largeness has begun, and the concrete does not go along there, so this is not a presentation just yet, but it is clear that there is a darkness which we have made. And I will stand in it without another for now, and the attempt will not be made to be in fashion, but I will know that if I feel good, then it will be done humbly, that is funny. Rock and roll. Marilyn, when Bnevuva is thinking of how he's the only human in the marriages, and, when things are never here, then I will take my sweet time to undo all of the combinations I can, that's pretty cool. Bnevuva reading some quotes from Richard Rorty, that is pretty cool. And, you know what? They changed your life. Anonymous ghost, that is just right. Thank you very much. Diana, and I will teach how and why to live. And I will say more about the attack that leaves me saying ooh ooh. But Richard McBride is not alive, and neither is Honey McBride, nor their father. And I do not have that mysterious disease which is to question all. Oh great, now they think you're damned. Shay, when the architecture is made basic in construction by me, then it will disappear. The blankness will be in its functionality when it has no more elements anymore in and of what was its architecture. My vacuum cleaner, the boss by Eureka, is Hopi's Golf Club. Bertha Finnis together Shakespeare, that Romeo and Juliet can be. Happy together with their families is impossible. Stephanie, so time has ceased to move. The pressure is increasing the more you invent the images. Yes, maybe an imbalance is occurring because enough communication has been and so the images are presented just by you, and the pressure has ceased to exist to others. Put that night there. Trust me on this one. Ora ti faredo, and, it will be okay to bring in the trouble at last, and it will speed up the rain which is falling. And, when the awesomeness leaps nicely into something else, then the major goodness will be visualized in the lower parts. Hope would like to bartend. Penny, and, this will be of a positive joinery, and yet the proportions will be odd to the number of shapeless lengths. The projects themselves will be numberless. And the zigzags will have no directions, and my fingers will not be able to number every shapeless mass. The afternoon and sunset are the building of M.O.A.T. In 6 hours, the dusk. Ariel, the cover to this wagon shelters a living depth whose purple joys I cannot copy nor destroy. It can do it all, but not by any trying is my romance crafted. Maybe the ghost's name is Isaiah. That's a pretty cool name for a ghost. Bnevuva, I love you silly Billy, that's just what I was trying to tell you. Penny. And, when I have the answers, then the leaves will change color, and I will conclude and become silent. The commentary of the architect will happen when we meet, and I will say hello, yes, and my name will be spoken, have an organization which designs ideas. We hire the architect and engineers and find the charities to give it to. We are marketers/organizers. Who schedules? We do it for them. Schnuna they hire workers to build and get building materials and set up scheduling. Teakbot and Penny, those numbers are loved by me which have let go of the universe and its business. If this is not Texas, and there is no exhibition, then I will shine out as I am, and my business will be to forget that place where I was once one with myself. Think about it like physics. A few years on down the line people will read as well and spend money on M.O.A.T. Teakbot visualize the boxes working and the enthusiasm. Aura, when the bibble babble is not called for, and when the blueness of the sky is close to you, then the limits are less real, and the secrets will be known. When those secrets are seen, then the resources will not be there, and you will wonder why. My mind is an open cavern, and an echo of others' phrases. Nevuva, when I care for the tribal drums again, they will be welcome to summon me in my waking state as real as the desert upon which they sound. The bricks brighten farther outwards, and the blackness of the city has yet to be found. The noise is of a rising of the drops which have left the volumes of the bodies of water. I know I am safe. Yet, I worry about meeting the neighbors since they are so beautiful and interesting. I do not know how to speak to them yet. Graphite together hilly towns beyond in hazy distances. Amy. And when the monumental outrageousness around Texas is no more, then nothing will be left to do about the love which lights you through your way this moment out of your bed. Din with the risky Kawana sands blowing from the sea strike me. Penny, and when the air begins to thump, and my body is pushed over to the live trees, then I will rattle their thick boughs and remember my trance. My eyes will open and I will stop dreaming. That night, I will take myself away and sleep and I will be lost in it. The question makes for another question which is different than defining a definendum. When reading Milton I discovered I'm not the only channeler. Nevuva, they go slower than any human, and they travel quickly into sleep rising with the comfort of a victory and breeze. What is it your brother and sister want? Jill speed. We want speed, Billy. Honey, and, I am not in the state, and things do not add up when I lose the computer programming sponsorship, and my name William Godfrey McBride 3. Will be erased. Hold still, Tobe Shabib wants to paint you again. Jaffa, a paradise plot pushing up, eternally a teamwork, the speeding questions clear, the good clean fun exquisite, without a silence went, now valley of the fibered thin inveigle another healthy time, somewhere exposed some pleasant clearing, a little good clean fun to sing, more time eternal yielded up its meaningful supply, it's getting good. Billy M. Melody musical instrument, a fame time, the designing musical instrument lifts a public creation, a dream between us, the task is for the harmony to play out to fathom, to stay, why not? Dear Hashem, blessed be your name, please help people not be gang raped or raped. Thank you for listening. Ahova. Amen. Ribbit, the Koki, about a hopeful musical development, going further, time doth pour back, much is taken with a graph, a play for every song's collection in our pleasant time hurled, what about Jacob? Nevuva what about him? Schnuna should we try writing in that style, or even the style of Joseph? Valerie, what we push forth to hear represents a craft, joins in the landscape with a sort of peace, in our future's own flow as clouds that pass above through vaster spaces, like those temple clouds which shade come in each array over old forbidden neighborhoods out there, where listeners come, the lands around rise in a song which their ears make found, that was Ariel. Tov Tov Shalom, Billy M. 's highest wife, when the architecture is made basic in construction by me, then it will disappear. The blankness will be in its functionality when it has no more elements anymore in and of what was its architecture. Aloha Billy McBride, the word aloha means hello, goodbye, and I love you in Hawaiian. Schnuna, there is a city in the clouds without cables, without ropes or posts, without the wholeness of reality but with the last smoothness of air that strikes up the chalky clouds at last as the wind that settles down puffing itself outwards above the land. You cannot have a happy world without trust. One person learns, then another. Picat together, the fire createth the fire's own small springings upon the earth, soul train. Nevuva, the fire hath the best clue as to what to doeth in school during daytime. Aura would like to light a candle for us. Elaine yes, I would. Aura after I finish my ice cream? Nevuva, the fire enjoyeth to end the fire's reign in blackness, Mana. Honey, midnight, the fire tackleth the fire's tastes. Jacob wrestled an angel who pinned his limbs down. Earlier he was happy using them to be impressive in his skills. The dawn is coming and Jacob is in pain. Jacob was tricky at things to be, he was confident and hopeful. Marilyn, the fire chooseth to suffereth brazen in a kindled softness, some gold mold angels try to make themselves other angels. Diana, the fire harmeth the strangeness of strangers in the dark, sometimes fish die. Penelope, black, the fire followeth the beasts arching in a rough wonder, I think you know that you are rocking it now. Diana. The fire hath presented a commitment relentlessly to wander in the fire's smooth transport, the diminishing bus stop. Shnuna, who is weight to the core of the tied-up gift. Shnuna, who is weight, the fire raiseth the wealth of the blustering and ceaseless stars, the sunshine fits. Bertha, the fire aspireth to dissolveth doubt, he learns from her demanding situation to unify order and uncertainty by fooling her family. Lisbeth, the laughing shining load of the fire's sad couched fountain gloweth, she, Kim, needs water. Tob Shabib. The fire desireth to annihilate the fire's thirst, I looked in the smart car in our garage and found nothing. Nevuva, the fire moveth across the shady hard stones. Michael McBride was the doctor who helped me through my long and difficult labor which I went through last night. Nevuva, the fire deserteth the darkness, maybe we should just leave him alone. Muslim water lily, the fire perturbeth in the loneliness of nature, I put on the table an enchilada dinner with the banana trees to form an Ein Sof later the Thanksgiving night. And, I took a picture of it. Nevuva together. A solution is what Teresa does, which is to order, Vincent and Jessica, being a little ignored, is everything Hakal Besetter, everything is in order. Testing 1, 2, 3. Nevuva, and how Elaine represents is by constructing and construction, and so we are awake, but the sleeping songs, dreaming of the earth around, forever dream of its sweetness, and its arrangement, Billy, that Gnostic dream you had was awesome. Elaine, and so in it Ariel bugs by bad dreams as with Calpurnia and Julius Caesar and Clarence's, as pleasures are on this study, what is pleasure? It's not the opposite of pain. Nevuva, emancipating what is now, once far since what the playing's after is coming soon for honey represents comfort volunteered. Sing that song. Orally, Nevuva okay. This is how we do it. Tikbot you mean repetitive stuff? What about new ideas? Nevuva, songs taken from the environment always strong to be more, for days of tomorrow new, for its own atmosphere, its arrival, not cut off from the appreciation that Ora Tifaredo represents the light within is correct, its goings in stronger good sounds, hands turn them out, what are we going to do? Nevuva we will play more music. Teresa, and with timeless grouchy, she bugs with music as with Balthazar with Benedict. The little stars float forever in ancient bleak heavens. Libby, forever through and through, to which how Elaine represents is by constructing and construction ever now relate. So sit up, and help on the bugging, now what, Billy feels dizzy? Nevuva you will be fine. Kabbalah, butter up the present, break into much as Thrikbot represents the hopeful colors of M.
O. A. T. Sight, yes it was silly Billy that's another way we play.
Write that down. Tikbot, a dark cloud shadows their faces for a minute and then a very brilliant bright light shines on us all, that was awesome. Libby. And Lisbeth is helping with all readings freshness from out some grey void. To keep upon the floor where these bold musical themes lie, which are still dominant. A sandcastle is built and the voids form one by one and Nevuva stacks it down to the ground, I'm just a note-taker. Nevuva, everywhere with meaning, the ball of the afternoon thrown out, being everything, earth people breaking nothing, a kind shade bugs by bad colors as Antonio was bugged by Gonzalo about the green grass, roll skies somewhere, working out from a silence, a rough or gentle wind. Donna, the outrageous, mother of Earl and Conrad, in windy tenderness Donna never wronged bugs by disturbing the solitude of others as the porter was bugged in. Macbeth, the weather of the Iliad is the poem. Pequot Finis wisdom receiving the echoing music. Kabbalah, who is wisdom, mother of William and Brandon, the fire singeth. The fire plungeth proudly to the sweet and chilled realm. The fire namet spots of glory with the fire's voice. The fire leadeth lawless myriads, I finally turned on some music. Nevuva, sometimes the fire returneth successfully the beams to the gulf. The fire returneth to the fire's home of light. The fire seeketh an eternal leader. The fire's entrance beeth veiled as the fire's great and powerful thoughts fall. Labyrinth turn roller. Kelly, the fire smileth and rolleth into view on the ground. To the fire liveth millions of freshly wiped night stars. The fire discourseth with the angels, the fire's voiced thoughts within the great cloud of evening. The fire beeth slowed down. The fire in wandering plucketh up what in glory fell from trust, balls rolling up to the top. Kelly, the fire essentially lighteth the ground. The fire rolleth on the fire's winged way. The fire appeareth to roll over the top of the ground in reverence. The fire beeth in high flight betwixt the cumbrous stars, a party of thoughts high, peaks past of thoughts to be admitted higher. A running sea and sun. The atmosphere's stars rid. Ariel. The fire's hopeful dominion in precedence formeth. The fire yieldeth to the thick knowledge of a gorgeous whispering. The fire's sad flowers shine exposed. In the fire's wine, the light from heaven beeth unsearchable in time. In time, the fire's upper wings to water breatheth, splitting of the Red Sea. Teresa, the organizer, the fire's obscure day beeth perpetually deepining its stony life. The fire's passive trembling sea beeth now gold. The fire's smoke broken whirls endeth in darkness. The fire's fools limiteth all fools purely and gently. The fire's inoffensive spacious night wandereth, liking the wonderful rest. Teresa, the organizer, the fire's natural peace maketh barren a creation. The fire wandereth in grace. The fire beeth made of dreadful laws. The fire sloweth. The fire heapeth the fire's glorious powers. The fire forgetteth, children have grown up in war, and children have grown up in peace. Donna, the fire resteth in lamps of flight, the fire perpetually obscures the whole pasture. The fire lighteth the fire's sphere. The fire beeth apparent of nothing. The fire ebbeth on behalf of the fire's golden light. The fire offereth heavenly beams, the sweetness, the children. It is their imaginations that have been going forth. Ora ti feredo, the fire pauseth in the hour of charming imagination. The fire passeth the fire's lonely durable light. The fire proveth that the fire canst reduceth. The fire gathereth with intent. The fire accepteth the fire's best prospering. The fire cometh flaming. An advancement in the progress of humankind occurs now and again. Honey, wisdom putting sick objects with their proper medicine is good. Honey, though facing weakness, settings weatherly throughout the warmth above, the comely recording still greater creeps our plans of goodness on, a middle beauty backed with fresher rise to rest up higher, ever yielding their capricious, we feel some joy as if to wear out no image, but embellish wise the piece went up with pride of being right for humankind in a song of whirl and light. Readers will use their abilities to heal their wounds, and they will keep reading, perhaps forever. Ariel, that other monument of tomorrow stands. Else than its heaviness when some designs shall put forth its pleasure vital, in observation of these days, nights and lands, down on the green where the $1 billion alone is fit with native thoughts and pleasures glad for it. Fascism is a problem of tomorrow, and we must help the next generation become less mindless, the fate of those whom the Autobots find. Ariel, this time's for pleasure, for a gentler view the blueprint provides the checker flag, the teamwork, the Texas, forgotten, notes reminding tourists so much around, anonymous the work people call to each other where no city sits. I know you, Numa, are a lot like Ria in many ways, helping me learn. Nevuva, contact what tourists will of us, tourists might make theirs yours, acres so full wave their bending hands together pull. For some more delight, Baruch Hashem Kodesh Hesed for midnight and pea green flowers for everyone. Ahova. Amen. Nevuva, Texas quelled by seeing things, each by and by they have a mission to please the tourists' reasons, still tourists think up something for the gold, that something's for woman and man who hang up not, then if our design flow can, butter up the present, break into a project site, put that down right now Bnevuva. Rosalinda, those
M.O.A.D. projects of Texas come out of it, to develop the center, ever fit, Texas out of the $1 billion, up and down again.
We send our book down to the sea, that's like our publishing agent. Penny. Now the perspective unleashes shine from a public attractions, a society or solitude helps at sunset, traveler's country, on an empty stretch, distant seasons and plain rhythms, companion stuff of a design's complexities, a path with that teamwork page. A taller country of that high outside, a public attraction studies the monuments, the preparation, it's not a bed it's a sand trap. Nevuva, tourists wanted it before the tourists who rocked we contact much more.
Up to the teamwork, a little full, M.O.A.T. repetition that right to wait when outrageousness else has come, why are you in it?
Vincent, the acres, so plain, in future too, pretty there, while useful, the grace, it has come to all what would be up above where great souls count. From minutes beamed while out from space they mount an offered blueprint in the empires of sunlight, I'm pretending to be you. Nevuva, not to fail at Texas, To be duly free of accepting tourists with us, the needs M.
O. A. T as parcels matter, tools of M. O. A. T. Master the drill and rest in motions for our yearly fill. What about your wives?
Vincent, we drift about, and not in a greater place could we be, another place to the outdoors our eyes to walls and braveries to grant come, that's when I'm me and when the bed is mine. Nevuva, to live to activate more designs for tourists when hearts would come together for a steal and follow other souls into the day. That job for victories of highest, booms, the sculpture to reveal, why is your bed a mess? Vincent, Peekaboo Project. So why answer with the training? Demand him for the blessing, charity is in the material, that's part of your trap to avoid. You will see. Nevuva, once more the green, the tourist public attraction is seen still up again to make the tourists' feelings clean, and think with Texas the tourist project is outrageous, and whenever an outrageousness has pushed the tourists onward, tourists make some hopeful training active, Emily Dickinson. After thinking of spiders, ora T Ferredo, the future would make Texas infinite, that stubborn time emancipating what is now, once far, since what the buildings after is coming soon for knowledge volunteered, its harvest recording. With dawning of experience, oh look, when if tourists are blinded not, demand a sight whenever work people will teamwork, still constructors are for tourism's bigness to be the thing, with reason turn a preparation, a bed, my bed. Why is the beings, a mess? Nevuva, the stuff for a growing sonnet, some message to gossip about, where the charity goes, Billy, they're going to love reading. Marion, oh, later? Out, alas, tourists are out and about, tourists faced off, happy going back to the tourists' cruise triumphant project, we mountains, slowly we sleeping, find in the recompense, our use. The earth holds over its rocks the snow which has become a gift for our feet. Elaine.
Each future descends the gold, again our Texas is given us, M. O. A. T that holds this afternoon its piece to assemble, in final wins, what a teamwork becomes, sweet train.
Save the spring. Oh, Palliser come. Ora T Ferredo wisdom the men and women who have lived before have been remembered through their great deeds. Donna, my own calm state of mind is possible to come with poetry so that I do trust in allowing it to set me free with further explorations. And, when the writing means to get out of me, then no experiment can fix the words, and there will not be another binary opposition in the room. And what I cannot do, and what I can, will be creative. And the science will not oppose itself to my story which comes out from stories, why is he laughing? Vincent. No, not why? You're supposed to talk to me. Nevuva, and, I will give away the keys to my public, and they will be socialized and sophisticated, and there will be no biggest problem with that because I will not want to walk through it. Richard Rorty will help my bridge go to the lands in M. O. A. T. Tobe Shabib, there is no way to be original when originality is the convention, and some ancient end has for me much speechlessness. When I cannot understand or know my confusion, because it is a well-kept secret, I will make myself less bored by meditating by slowly reading in order to refute what has destroyed these things around me, how everything is done matters. We try to find the graceful, useful technologies to help us in this way. Shnuna, for where no blueprints were drawn out, there is a deepness to the floor, and a garden is separate from it. No letters to potential buyers were copied, and nature herself felt a sorrow below. And, because there was no floor plan, the rejection of the ends of the floor still made for many a good time there, the sheet moves out giving way, the last to finish to land the light of a thundering universe, oh! The limping pride, an annoyance of nature pure, no more transparent. He is counting all of her money. Ariel, the continent gleams with cherry trees, and being near my heart, this landscape is for a rain shower, as I am for many taters, and yet it does not take many ages to roll into its wealth again another springtime to be revealed, I am invited by knowledge to be merry. Kathleen, repose thy fastened knowledge. Lisbeth. Thy quiet style is knowledge. Lisbeth, privilege thy resistance of knowledge. Kathleen, in an impetuous knowledge we are unmatching. Kathleen, demonstrate how knowledge I avoid. Tobe Shabib, is that how we made the Hawaiian sonnets? Honey, if it is impossible, miracles will be unrelated, the dew will sit on the roses, and the way will not happen because of some luck of a personal kind. The order has an order to it, and the lights stay on, colors are left behind, people cook and share food with their families every day. Honey, wisdom. Hey all, let's work out a new banana tree diagram. Nevuva, we were making our conceptual banana tree parallels, let's. Kabbalah, when I say farewell, then I will let go of the request for that grant application from the Foundation for information concerning the most recent eternities for submitting grant applications, alright, being and thus being affected by angels nudging me, or gently bugging me, I will recognize who most I feel like, and then I will put together the branches of the banana tree. Nevuva, and, when the warmth of the sun reaches my legs, I shall turn it all on, and the light upon the trees and branches will collect beside the motionless grass, good. Grouchy. No letters to potential buyers were copied, and nature herself felt a sorrow below. And, because there was no floor plan, the rejection of the ends of the floor still made for many a good time there. First, I feel like I must work, and that is Caliban from Shakespeare's The Tempest. Nevuva, and, when moderation of standards, paradigms, self-referential reasons, ontology are overlooked because of glaring superstandards, then historical accounts of the forces of destruction of words will obscure understanding after constructing them happens for the sake of work and work alone, there's wood enough within. Caliban, yes, maybe an imbalance is occurring because enough communication has been so, and so the images are presented just by you, and the pressure has ceased to exist to others. Good. Grouchy, and then life itself will not have anybody to explain it. The clarity, harmony and integrity of the stars will be of death, whose own clarity will be here of a goodness. That formula will be even less powerful than the little love I have for a few stars. Second, I feel like I am overexcited, and I now recognize that is Antony from Antony and Cleopatra when Cleopatra overexcites him. Nevuva, the rest is so very exciting, and the fire is standing without shape in its fire, and we let it all go on in our little domestic state where we hear it all as a song now begins, yes. Grouchy, so time has ceased to move. The pressure is increasing the more you invent the images. Yes, maybe an imbalance is occurring. Because enough communication has been so, and so the images are presented just by you, and the pressure has ceased to exist to others. Now, I will synthesize the two ways that I am being bugged, and then fill out the banana tree with the results of even more characters. Nevuva, if the dynamic end result is of destruction, then objects will have no way to be seen. And, when the connections to them shatter, then spacetime will be destroyed, and that loss will be the answer, good. Do that, Nevuva. Graki, and, when I do not repeat this to my mind, when I do not imagine such a space, then I will be surprised when tomorrow comes and what it will be like. First, a synthesis of feeling like I have to work, Caliban, and feeling overexcited, Antony, is being willing to work and so follows the characters who fill out the Ein Sof, or banana tree. Nevuva, there is no meeting of bodies, but meaning, even in the suggestive sense, still will not be as insightful as the fact that I need some help to follow through with my own solitude. Great. Grouchy, the rigid frames take a wonderful smoothness into what is hard and soft about me. And, the material is the same with love which is good from every dimension that nature adds to this greatness. 1. Ferdinand, from The Tempest, is willing to work for Miranda, his love. Nevuva 2. Jacob, from Genesis, is willing to work 7 years with Laban for his love, Rachel. Nevuva 3. Socrates is willing to work for understanding. Nevuva 4. William Blake's chimney sweeper is willing to sweep the ashes out of the chimneys. Nevuva 5. Poor Joe, from Charles Dickens' Bleak House, is a willing street sweeper. Nevuva 6. Soren Kierkegaard says that he who is willing to work gives birth to his own father. Nevuva 7. Ralph Waldo Emerson says to do your work, and I shall know you. Nevuva 8. The player king from Hamlet is willing to memorize some rewritten lines for the play, The Mousetrap. Nevuva 9. Many Greeks willfully volunteered to fight in the Trojan War. Nevuva 10. The psychoanalyst is willing to work to get paid a fee for her or his services. Nevuva finis. Peace Billy, they're going to love reading. Marion, the fire's lifeblood beeth ever building there. No other embryo of a heaven to enter beeth available but this one. And, the fire taketh what beeth transferred headlong into the fire. The fire beeth absolved in the fire's dismal situation. There is something wild that is going to happen. Nevuva, yes. Billy, why now wait to find the cures? Yes, you are Gabriel. Your heart now stirs. Now outside with that first bag, throw it out. You just cured AIDS symbolically, no doubt. Now outside with that second bag, now toss. With it, you just cured cancer, by the loss of it into the dumpster. Way to go. And it was your skyscraper, as you know. See, the Buddhists aren't perfect. Nevuva, dear Billy, you are struggling with the dead, those mighty poets now whom you have read. You're struggling now for space and fighting them because they're your precursors, Billy M. There is a central poem where you are in, and it contains you now, as you have been here reading all your moves and active play, and some of the best poets wrote this way as you are in a central poem right now. We all of us will fight it, this is how. Tobe Shabib is a great cook. Winslow Homer, hi guys. Would either of you like some gum? I have some extra packs I purchased from the little store just down this sidewalk here. I went for candy but it was unclear the kind to buy since there were many kinds, but when I saw these types of gum, such finds were bought. This is a special candy too, it's something new to me, perhaps to you? Use your head to find the secret doorway. Metal settler. The fire waveth in hunger and compulsion heaped under the flying moon. The fire beeth placed in air transcendent. The fire followeth the beasts arching in a rough wonder. The fire offereth a deeply composed vigor. The fire deepeneth what the fire beeth equal to. The fire breaketh the flights of falling atoms during daytime, people are born, live a while, die and are buried. Nevuva, the fire beeth unprevented. The fire beeth of great will. The fire pleaseth the sun and the sun's address. The fire beeth the graceful offspring of yonder creatures. The fire beeth natural. The fire moveth in good exercise the fire's gold, how long have they, the neighbors, been there? Let's try to trace the millions of years. Geologically. Nevuva Billy, that's awesome. Ora T Ferredo dinosaurs became extinct. But, the neighbors have been around longer. Nevuva, the fire changeth into an open disagreement. The fire's sad ambition beeth in the fire's richest moment a pure hourly bloom. The fire stateth the ways of moments, how do you know what I am saying? Tom, the neighbor, there Billy, that's $100 right there, keep it up. He keeps dancing and cleaning, what's he writing? Marilyn, it's going to take him 2 hours. Ariel, I will put the painting of Nurse Elaine by my War and Peace painting. She will look after the sick ones represented in those abstract x-rays, the letter will take a couple of days to be delivered. Penelope Peace, may I have a piece of gum? Penny shakes his head, yes, would you like a piece of gum, Numa? Anybody else? Nevuva, I'll take a piece. Robbie here. Nevuva, it was just me pretending I was God, and even so, by doing what felt odd. I helped you on with motivation high, but not that high, yet look around, don't cry, we know you are in pain, look at the trash, as Angel Jill remarked, within that stash it represents the total of your pain, not just from dancing last night, but the main point is that is pain from all your life, thus listen now to me, your angel wife, and get your butt up now to throw it out, you have the strength and courage, without doubt, to next achieve your greatest evermore, for with those bags in hand open the door, and walk into the cold with great intent to rid the world of pain. That's why you're sent, that is Harold Bloom right there. Give him a hug with your hands. Ariel, red orange, for much were compensated later on. For much were breathings of those weathers gone. For much the kingdom of the rains does live. One much a golden rainbow's pot does give. For much has ancient beauty like the sun. For much our toils need holidays when done, Moshe helped free the slaves, but, he never got to see the promised land. He died in his 120th year. Penny, and I would state I know what I do not, but I do know, and play just as I ought since playing on the keyboard's more than fun, it is as if I'm comforting someone besides myself, besides my family, an audience becomes imagined, see? And for those people listening, them all, I play piano like I'm playing ball, by which I mean, I try my best to play, and say in music things I'd like to say, many helpers around. Yaffa, niceness, okay we would enjoy some chewing gum, for gum is happiness to master some. For gum is like a pleasing paradise. For gum, as love itself, will go there nice. For gum, for bubble gum, our love commands. The gum, a lovely mouth that understands, Billy, you remember something from yesterday. The waters of Lethe didn't get you after all. Penny O. K, now what? Billy M, you're welcome to whatever you can find, what the hell do you mean the magic mountain, Billy McBride, I don't understand you. Nelson, you're moving without stopping, though it's late, and every move you make deliberately you see and know has purpose totally. You're graceful in your dancing making clean the area within your rooms to mean much as with every movement that you do, it makes completely sense to us and you, babysitting? Nevuva that is not the title, for this book. It will be Tove. Peacock, purple peace can we represent changing people better than Shakespeare? We're breaking new ground even though Shakespeare thought it up. What else are new generations to do? Ora T Ferredo, every move you make deliberately you see and know has purpose totally. A stop sign helps a wisdom meanwhile start, onward to paradise, the prettiest part but hungry, people waiting on the sun cannot deny what better changes face, a final understanding of your better home, happy evenings at home. Bertha, a wall of eye beams, mother of Ingrid and Isaac, nothing to feign here, no worldly fortune, pass, of greater miracles, so little done, or none at all, who plays dreidel. You lost even their names Bnevuva. Ariel, present days are playing dumb as death, which better women link, in the wilderness resolve to answer to the fading days revolve, as sun to sky, now to a future age, things that sparkle keep you from seeing. Autobots. Elaine, so also meeting one of you on earth, that Sylvia, whose hope for what it's worth does lately to inspire a song to ring out of my heart a music I shall bring from it, and therefore sing my very best. Alas, I'm ever taking such a test with my own total vocals, but for her, I'll do my best to sing the song better than then, the last time having it to sound the music to your higher better ground. The big question is how long angels can go on joking before you have to do something else. Teakbot, I'm glad that you would help me, very glad, these mysteries of humankind have come, and I don't want you to get ever mad, you're open to my heart I give the world. But I can't clean right now this place I mean, it's not your fault, you did not mean to do that thing which you should not have done, and you must now find out, alas, what's next in store, there will now be a change again, and more. Your life shall change because you fed each cat. On head buttressy of the case is that if you feed cats, waters so occur, the Lethe waters have now begun to stir, Boccaccio is the real pilgrim of eternity? Jenny I don't want you to worry, Billy, but you don't all the time know what we talk about. Kelly, dear Billy, I love you, we all did this to energize you that you clean your mess because inspection's soon, we thought best that we would play with you to pass that test. So everything we did was just pretend to motivate your cleaning in the end, okay. Let's all be quiet. Lizbeth I don't want to be quiet, softly. Peacock Piece How to Fly a Spacecraft is the greatest book for some but not for us. Ariel, Red Orange, when you first came to me before we wed, I wanted to save you from feeling dread, back then when I did think I channeled you not as high angels, but as humans who within the neighborhood, I thought did sell themselves as prostitutes. I could not tell that, in that channel, you were in disguise, and really were from heaven, angels wise, he's cutting them up. Ariel, Red Orange who's cutting them up? Donna, Blue cutting what up? Ariel, Red Orange cutting our books up. Diana, Red, okay dear Jill, I'll wait to talk with her, and I'll be patient, yes, I will not stir up trouble, I trust you and what you say. I'll be all right while waiting for that day. It's good to know that someone understands who's far away, who dwells on earthly lands. It seems my neighbor's talking next to me, and through the wall, I hear you quietly, I hear you neighbor, ghostly neighbor, yes, of what you say, I do not have to guess, how do you do dialogue? Bnevuva. When a car passes, Bnevuva what the hell was that? Vincent's earthly self screams in thought, Bnevuva it's okay. That car was further away. Elaine, oh. What the hell's he doing? What the hell? Do you see what he's doing, can you tell? Oh, I am shocked. What do my eyes now see? Is Billy McBride now with a she? My God, he's with Tobe Shabib. Hey, what the hell? Do you know what they're doing? Very well? I thought that he can't do that thing, but, oh. Bnevuva and Pattycake are. Whoa. Jessica's astral self, are you here? Bnevuva yes. Jessica Vincent's astral self, are you here too? Bnevuva yes. Vincent I need your unironical help for dialogue. You know why? Bnevuva, now for the play, this afternoon's debate, I say that you will be better, and oh, from shadowed days, so many you beheld, that line, Lord is my Lord and Lord, to brood, which for its sunny best we all employ, that line, Lord is my Lord and Lord is good for other hearts and healing, let us fight and write on Victor Hugo's book La Mise, for power with its light, and for the all, that line's a sort of message of our biz, I sit and sigh to know we cannot fail, we know what's up, and reasons why you should. Reveal much hope, and I would also share we understand your worries and your mood, before this day's own gifts, within its light, we want whoever sees it to explain why would there be at best more hearts to yearn, what happened, and its meaning in her brain, Billy, you were set up a year ago. It's time to return the favor. Diana, with water prayers we'll send our thoughts up high unto our God, as down below we'll vie to put back in the water system it, the water being blessed will rightly fit as people drink it, they will be their best. Fill all the cups to drain, fill up the rest. As we shall by this day effect our plan to help out people, ladies and each man by water prayers said just at the right time, our secrets out, upon the world will chime, and, people who drink from the water's source will become greater without using force, we're trying to teach right, by acting? Bnevuva. Aha. Teakbot, what do you mean acting? I thought it was a real spacecraft. Jessica, that is the silliest word, acting. You will see. Teakbot, what? Hey. He knows Tob Shabib, he knows her well, before our perfect pleasures would increase, he knows Tob Shabib, like brass a brassy bell, it was not long a wait for which I guessed, he knows that lady, that is kind of odd. With coming destinies to which he's bound, for how on head buttressy did God whose soul reversed no wish he claimed for peace, bring Billy Mac to here where I can tell, whose moments, which last night, became profound, to here, a place where all of us do dwell in space, it would confuse the move he made, somehow he still met Tob Shabib, indeed, I lost God, Nevuva I know, sensing Nevuva's sadness, but it was Tob Shabib, who pretended to be Hashem, blessed be he. Trust me on that. Penny Finnis.